We are reborn when we take the road of recovery. Written by Sober the Juggalo, first edition. Dedicated to all the juggalos and people that help make this happen. Whoop, whoop. We are now on active recovery. Alright. Active recovery. During active recovery, you focus on having continuous personal growth. What that means is every day you need to find something to improve on. Hi, goofball. Yeah, hi. Good girl. Thank you. You need to find something that will help you grow into the person you desire to be. To do that, you need to be self-aware all of the time. From personal experience, that is extremely hard to do, and it takes much practice. The first step to doing that is you need to be in the moment. You cannot hold on to yesterday, and you cannot reach for tomorrow. You have to be in the moment. Once you learn how to be in the moment, you can figure out how to be self-aware by paying attention to what's going on in the current day of your life. It is imperative, because if you are not self-aware, you can never correct it. You end up hurting people, including yourself and your before they happen. There's a typing error, but that's okay. Oh, well, either way, if you never correct it, you end up hurting yourself and you hurt other people, and you have consequences before you realize that they happen. And it's real. You have to understand why things make you feel specific ways. You have to be able to understand why you react to certain things. It will be a lot of the time because it is a learned behavior from your past. And you need to figure out that the people currently in your life are not treating you the same way people in your history treated you. All we do as addicts are project our past pain on people trying to help us currently. Once we get out of that trauma state of mind and that victim state of mind, we can be in the moment, be self-aware of why we do something and why we react to something. And we can self-correct almost instantaneously as we get better and better at it. You have to be able to start understanding your triggers. For me, one of my triggers was my job. When I was in the military, I took extreme pride in my career and got put down a lot. Even before the military, I was put down a lot as a child. I never did anything fast enough or good enough. There was always something wrong with what I did. And that was a big trigger for me. And it recently caused me some drama at work because I allowed that trigger to get triggered at work. After all, I did not like work on fast. I did not work on it fast enough. Oh gosh. Sorry about the stutter. Luckily, I used a lot of tools that I learned over my sobriety and fixed it within an hour and everything happening. Fixed it within an hour of everything happening. But I still made a fool out of myself because I acted in a hurtful manner that didn't need to happen. After all, I mistook someone caring about me for them belittling me and putting me down. One thing we as addicts need to understand that we need to accept our past so we can grow. It doesn't matter what happened in your past. You need to accept it. It happened. And there's nothing you can do about it now except from learn from it. If you have trouble getting over something in your past, you need to figure out what resentment you have and figure out how to forgive yourself for and what you need to learn from the situation so that the situation doesn't happen again. And then that's another step forward into becoming a better person. You have to go through your past as addicts because we learned how to act and behave incorrectly. And now it is our time to grow beyond that bad programming that we have had and reprogram our brains so we can live a better life. You have to ask yourself, do you hold any grudges or resentments against anyone? And then ask why. Why do you keep these resentments? Why do you keep these grudges? Is it because of the pain that the person caused you? Or is it because you can't believe how you acted and now you are projecting how you feel about yourself on the person who was part of that situation? Or is it a mixture of both? Oh, my face is out of the way. It's been a long day. Or it could be something completely different. All that matters is that you figure out why you have those resentments, what your part in that resentment is, and what their part of the grievance is. And then all you need to do is make sure you clean your side of the road, which means you need to forgive yourself. And by forgiving yourself, you're able to let go of the pain that you caused of yourself, which makes forgiving those other people a lot easier. To forgive those other people is a hard step, and it sounds hard. But all it is accepting that it was a bad situation that happened to you. You can learn anything from any case, whether it's just not to deal with that person again, not to deal with that type of person. Also, to see these red flags that came up, or whatever the case may be. You get to learn from that situation. If you can transform your resentment into a personal growth, that is how you're going to continue to grow and become a better person daily. That also leads me to the next subject, which is learning to love yourself. If you're reading this book, then you probably are asking if it's even possible. And I can tell you from personal experience that it is. Fucking whoop whoop, shit. Best life ever. I'm so grateful. We teach ourselves and learn from how others treat us that it's impossible. So you have to start at the very beginning. First off, you have to change your mindset. You have to start looking in the mirror and pointing out the positive things. Try not to think about the negative things that you see. Stop picking yourself apart. You have to take it slowly, and you have to change your mindset. Start a gratitude journal. For the next 34 days before you go to bed, write down 17 things. It says 10, but, try for 10, try for 17. Get a journal maybe. But it says, here's the goal, right? Start a gratitude journal. For the next 30 days before you go to bed, write down 10 things that you're grateful for, something positive that happened during that day. And what that's going to do is it's going to be the last thing you think about before you go to bed. And then your brain's going to marinate it in that positivity. And after those 30 days, you're going to notice mindset change. Even within a couple of weeks of doing this, you're going to realize how easy it is to change your mindset and how easy it is to pick out the positive things and remember the positive things. And you'll start noticing how the negative things don't affect you as much, if at all, anymore. Learning to love yourself may take a little while, but as long as you do gradually daily growth, you will continue to learn to love yourself, and you will start learning to love yourself more and more each day. Oops. The more you love yourself, the more love you can spread to other people. That's my favorite. It really is. It says, the more you learn to love yourself, the more love you can spread to other people. There's a word for gradual daily progress, and that word is Kaizen, Kaizen. If you follow this book, Kaizen will become who you are, which we should all strive to have in our lives. Us being addicts, if you're wondering, how can I speed through this? There's no way to rush through this. It's a process. You have to fall in love with the process. You have to understand that worthwhile things take time, and you need to work at them. You need a healthy you need to be healthy and independent. And you have to continually work toward all these things because their outcomes is a better, happier life for you. And that's what matters. This book is great. And it's such an easy read. If you want a copy of We Are Reborn When We Take the Road to Recovery, Sober the Juggalo, all one word. Sober the Juggalo, just one time. So, Sober the Juggalo at juggalosinrecovery.com. Hit him up. Hit up Woody Woo. Hit me up, and I'll hit up Woody Woo. Whatever you want. I'll try and find it for you. But anyway, so, this book is great. So, sit down and write down what your strengths are. What things are you good at? Are you a happy person? Is your integrity strong? There are many different things that could be your strengths. Are you a good artist? Have you a good imagination? Are you good at woodworking? I'm honestly naming something that I'm good at, but these are just examples for you to start that process of figuring out what things that you are good at so that you can start focusing on some of those things and grow those strengths into something that will give you something to fall back on if you hit a low spot. Something else that you will need to think of, and I will make sure the worksheet is in the back of this book. What values do you want people to think of when they think of you? When people who know you explain to others the type of person you are, what do you want them to say? That's a big-ass question. I love that question. I did this with my therapist, and the worksheet is called Unlimited Confidence. So my values that I want people to explain to other people are self-control, humility, honesty, flexibility, authenticity, and acceptance. Another one that I realized that I want people to know me as is having strong integrity. Integrity has always come pretty naturally to me, so I've never really focused on it, but I've realized it's vital to me. According to the worksheet, I picked the 6 values out of the list of like 50-something, and there are plenty more values than that. Excuse me. This is just a starter list. And as you go through this worksheet and figure it out, and daily you remind yourself these are what I want to be. So now you have a plan. Now you have goals to achieve, and you work toward those goals to be a better person that you want to... It says, now you have the goals to achieve, and you work toward those goals to be the person you want to be. Once you start learning to love yourself and start loving yourself, you will build better relationships. And it's a natural thing that happens. You will have to take the meetings with other people, and whether it's a random stranger or at a conference or whatever the case is, and talk to them, be authentic. Be you. Don't try to mold into their life, because no one's going to want someone like that long term. It might be suitable for the moment, but in the long term, it's not going to work out because you're not going to always be that person. And then you'll lose sight of who you are. So what you should do is get to a point where you're comfortable being you and proud of who you are, to where you don't feel like you need to hide it anymore. And if you realize that you start going back down on that road where you're hiding who you are, you need to figure out why and learn from it and stop yourself from doing it. Put a plan into motion to prevent yourself from acting that way, and you'll have to be more self-aware. In the long run, it's worth it. You're a good girl, Drizzle. Yeah. Yeah. Best dog ever. You want to come kick it? Load up. Get to bed. Come on. Where's your toy? I don't know where it is. Did you chuck it? You got... Oh, sorry. I'm pooped. Fuck yes. Yo. My coworker gave me this yesterday. I've not had the cup with the jelly, but I saw the video of somebody like freaking out and going, ew, it looks like raw meat and bloody guts, blah. And I'm like, yo, really, you're so kind. I'm so excited to eat this bloody gut shit. Oh, bloody guts. Fuck. Okay, so where were I? I don't remember. Oh yeah, that's right. Don't hide yourself is what we were at. So next it says on the relationship topic, and when I say relationships, I'm talking about general relationships with every human being, not just romantic. You'll also have to realize that some people you have relationships with are toxic to who you are. Okay, I'm going to talk about it, be about it is what they tell me. It's almost like bubble wrap. Yo, this is my favorite. I worked at a grill-your-own steakhouse a while ago. A long fucking time ago. But fucking killer job. I mean, it's great jelly schmear. I fucking know you see it. It's like what a jelly bean looks like on the inside. Did you have the peanut butter and jelly M&Ms yet? They were alright. So I'm assuming this will probably be a little bit better because it's Reese's. Okay, so back to the relationship shit because holy shit ADD. But whatever. Anyway, on the relationship topic, and when I say relationships, I'm talking about general relationships, not with every human being, not just romantic. You'll also have to realize that some people you have relationships with are toxic to who you are. They're holding you back and they're putting you down and they're belittling you. They're just not right for who you are and who you want to be. Some people deal with family hurting their recovery and holding them back. And you need to figure out how to deal with it. It is one of the hardest things people deal with regularly. Having to push family away, because they're just not right for them. And emotionally, it will be hard because emotionally, they're family. We all want to be there for our family. It's just something that's as human as we are and we strive for daily. The reality is that you will become a more robust, better person if you don't deal with that toxicity. You can try talking to the person and explain, hey, what you're doing is not suitable for me. And if it doesn't change, I'm walking away. You can try that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the other person needs a reality check. But you always have to look out for number one because no one else in this world is looking out for you except for you. You can even keep it as simple as, hey, don't talk to me that way. Please. Please don't talk to me that way. Make sure you use your manners first. Hey, whoop whoop. But anyway, don't get me wrong. Juggalos in Recovery is here to support you. But you have to do the work. You might be wondering, how do you know if someone is... You might be wondering, how do you know if someone or something is toxic? Look at it from a logical point of view and look at how the person or thing impacts your life. And if it is doing something mentally or emotionally or physically to you that's holding you back or not allowing you from achieving your goals or achieving your personal growth, that person is a form of toxicity and you need to handle that situation. You know? And like learning how to love yourself and healing and shit, like you gotta learn what boundaries are. You know, this is why I highly recommend working with a recovery program. Because this book is all nice and everything. But like, you know, I'm a piece of shit. But my friends told me pizza chip. Because, whatever. I fucks with it better than them peanut butter and jelly M&M's all day. Mm-hmm. Oh, she's so sweet. I gotta do something nice for her. Mm-hmm. Oh, is that good? Fuck yes. Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it says, the only way I know of preventing this toxicity from happening in your life is to notice the red flags beforehand. There's no way to keep all the toxicity out of your life. It's not possible. We're humans. It's just going to happen. No one's perfect. There's such a thing as temporary toxicity. And there's another thing of people and things being toxic that are just never going to change because they don't want to change. And you'll have to be aware and make your own decision when that time comes. You need to look outdoor yourself. If you're dealing with a toxic situation, you need to analyze the situation to ensure that you're not the toxic one. As addicts, we have been the toxic ones in the past. And what we need to realize is that some of those poisonous traits still come out even after years of being sober. Yo. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to project your toxicity onto the other person or other things? Or are you going to take control of who you are and learn from your mistakes and grow? In active recovery, do not ever be afraid to ask for help. Do not let the fear of rejection or vulnerability or trust issues or anything like that stop you from asking for help. Being vulnerable is a huge part of a recovery because it teaches you humility. And it also teaches you that it's good to be weak at sometimes. That's where you get the most growth. Those moments where you're most vulnerable are those moments where you let down all your guards and walls that you've put up and you allow yourself to see a situation from a whole different point of view. And then you take the situation and get to learn from the most of it. So vulnerability is a key to having a strong recovery program and a robust personal growth program. Learning to trust again is a big thing. And one of the big things that have helped me is remembering and teaching myself that the people I deal with now are not the same people who hurt me and betrayed me and my trust before. One lesson I learned is that people change, so I have to forgive and grow from my past and move on with my life. You may ask yourself, can you do this recovery thing by yourself? Can you get through this life by yourself? You may try to talk to yourself. You may try to talk yourself into thinking that you can go through stuff yourself, and some things you can. In the big picture, you can't. You cannot get through this thing called life by yourself. We are humans. Accept that you're human and realize that humans need to work together to get through life. Because if you don't work together to get through life, then you're going to have a miserable, probably uncomfortable, probably not the best life they could have. And that's a real movie. And that is also the end of that. The next section is life changes. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Homies. Happy Friday.